Across the fields of Dothan, the brothers watched Joseph draw near. The glimmer of his colored robe shone like fire beneath the sun, and their hatred burned hotter than the dust. They spoke in whispers that quickly turned to shouts, their hearts darkened by envy until murder seemed a mercy. Reuben, the eldest, heard their plot and was troubled. He remembered the grief of their father, the way Jacob's eyes softened whenever Joseph's name was spoken. And though Reuben's heart was torn between guilt and pride, he said, "Shed no blood. Cast him into this pit that is in the wilderness, and lay no hand upon him." He meant to deliver Joseph again unto his father, yet even his plan would bend to a higher will. Joseph reached them with joy in his face, unaware of the storm before him. His voice called out in peace, but their reply was silence. Rough hands seized him, tearing away the coat his father had made, the symbol of favor now stained with dust and sweat. They cast him into a pit, an empty cistern, dark and cold, where only echoes kept him company. The pit was not punishment, it was preparation. God often begins with emptiness before he fills. The prison, the desert, the silence, all are classrooms for the chosen. What seemed like abandonment was the shaping of a servant's heart. Above the pit, his brothers sat to eat their bread. Around them, laughter and anger mingled in the wind. But one brother looked down into the darkness and felt the pull of conscience. Reuben had stepped away, and Judah, ever calculating, saw profit where the others saw vengeance. Far off, the dust of a caravan rose, a line of Ishmaelite traders moving toward Egypt, their camels laden with spices, balm, and myrrh. Judah said, "What profit is it if we slay our brother and conceal his blood? Let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him." So they drew him up from the pit, his eyes wide with fear and disbelief, and sold him for 20 pieces of silver, the price of a slave. The dreamer was bound and taken away, the clinking of chains marking the rhythm of his new life. Behind him, the brothers stood silent. They watched until the caravan vanished behind the hills, until the sound of the camels faded into memory. Then they turned to hide their sin. They took Joseph's coat, tore it, and dipped it in the blood of a goat. When they returned to Jacob, they held it out with trembling hands and said, "This have we found. Know now whether it be thy son's coat or no." And Jacob knew it. He cried, "It is my son's coat. An evil beast hath devoured him. Joseph is without doubt rent in pieces." Grief fell upon Jacob like a storm. He tore his garments, put sackcloth upon his loins, and refused to be comforted. The tent that once echoed with laughter now wept in silence. Yet heaven was not mourning, it was moving. For in the dust of that caravan's trail, the promise of God walked forward. The brothers believed they had silenced the dreamer, but they had only sent the dream ahead of them. Egypt waited. Its gates would one day open wide to receive the one who had been rejected. So it is with every child of purpose. Betrayal does not bury destiny, it plants it. And in the soil of pain, the seed of promise begins to grow. Joseph did not know where the road would lead, but the Lord was with him. The God of his fathers was still guiding the caravan, still steering the hearts of men, still weaving light through the darkness of human sin. The pit was only the beginning. Ahead lay a land of idols and thrones, of prison walls and palace doors. The dreamer's journey had entered the valley, and the unseen hand of God had begun to turn the wheel of history.